is BYOT. Bring your own tacos.
Dick swinging.
You're listening to American Slacker Podcast.
We can say fuck.
With Matthew Gertz and Jesse Landers.
I don't care, I've been smoking, this is cool. That's a decent amount of sausage. This man needs a doctor! Yeah, I just hope they're tasty. What's up with these clowns, man? Cut the lights and went through people's pockets. Don't you point that at each other. Let them smoke a little. You need to step it up to that point. We're not gonna lead with the. We're not gonna lead with that.
So I went to this past weekend. It was a lot of fun.
Eezoo, like E-Z-O-O?
Electric Zoo.
Okay.
It's a EDM festival that occurs in Randall's Island in New York City.
Oh, where the old Warped Tour used to happen.
Exactly. Yep. It's an awesome little island. It has a lot of good concerts happen there and different festivals and whatnot. And I love it, man. This is the second year I've gone with my girlfriend, and we always have a good time. Always fun. It's a lot of work to get into the city. We got to get a parking garage and walk to there and shit. So this year I had quite the experience. I on the way to the city, I had to go to the bathroom for a while. I had to piss. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna find the nearest whatever, and hit traffic immediately. So I'm like, fuck, I don't want to pull off and then get stuck and have to fight traffic again to get back on. So I'm like, all right, we'll go to the parking garage. I'll see if they have an actual bathroom or go from there. Get there. It's an outdoor parking garage with a little booth. So obviously they don't have a bathroom. Closest thing I could find, there's a McDonald's. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. We'll go there. We'll get a couple of McChickens so I can use the bathroom because you got to pay to use the bathroom.
Right. Usually they'll give you a code on the receipt or something.
Yeah. So I'm like, fuck it. I grab that. We get food. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And then we go around the corner and the line is absurd. There is 25 people in line.
That's terrible.
I'm committed. I've already paid for my goddamn McChicken.
And you're already at the point where you've been holding it for a while.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not going to go to the next spot and have the same thing happen. So I'm waiting in line. And this is when the fun shit happens. So I'm waiting behind these 30 guys. They're two old dudes and one young. One of the old dudes drops his hat, and at this moment I start to realize they're all fucked up, the old dudes, or anyway, they're pretty fucked up. I can't tell if it's drugs or alcohol, but they're pretty fucked up. And drops his hat in front of me, hits my foot. And the other old guy leans in, he's like, oh man, hey man, good thing you didn't step on his hat. This guy's a killer.
Oh, fuck.
I'm like, oh, God, here we go. I'm not even in the city fucking half an hour and fucking already getting some beeps started with me. So I'm like, nah, good thing, man. I'm just like, whatever. I start looking away, ignoring the whole situation. I'm like, oh, I don't want to get in a conversation with this drunk guy. Then just get stuck.
Mm-hmm.
So continues on. And then slowly that guy starts basically falling asleep standing up.
That's not a good sign.
No, man. So he's standing behind a nice old lady who's very quiet, and I'm talking an 80s type year, to give you an idea. So an older lady,
yeah.
He starts falling asleep and fucking falls into her.
Shit.
Almost pushes her over. But this young guy's keeping him in line for some reason. He's their guardian.
Okay.
The older of the two that's not falling asleep decides he's gonna go outside, leaving the guy that's falling asleep hanging out. Man, so basically it gets to the point where this guy has to sit down. The younger dude grabs him, puts him to sit down. And I'm like, okay.
And this is all in line for the bathroom.
Dude, this is over the course. I was there for an hour. This is
God.
So it was so uncomfortable. I'm like, this is just I'm waiting
this
for
whole
some
scene
ridiculousness to happen. I'm like, is this guy gonna OD in front of me or just pass out? What the fuck? And so he sits down, takes a little cat nap while I'm waiting in line. And I finally get up to the front. I'm looking at the young guy. I'm like, yo, does this guy still need to go? And he's like, yeah. And so he gets him up, he wakes him up, and he stands in front of me, waiting for that person to come out that was ahead of me. And he starts going on it at this point, basically throwing his boy under the bus, the young guy, saying we're robbing a place, and Chachi over here, like talking about the young guy, gets caught and then calls me out and says, hey Matcha, come out, they caught us. And they caught him, man. Like, basically, like, pissed off that his boy,
Airing
like,
all his dirty laundry.
yeah,
In McDonald's.
I'm like, oh my god. So I'm like realizing I'm dealing with like fucking possible criminals this whole time. Oh man. Anyway, this guy goes into the bathroom finally, and I'm not even kidding. For like 3 to 5 minutes, this guy's in there pissing and screaming at the top of his lungs, going between singing songs and like talking about his dick.
Oh, God.
Yeah, the whole time. He's just, like,
This is the guy that was passing out originally?
Yeah, dude, lively son of a bitch as soon as he gets onto the stage in the bathroom.
Yes, so.
Yeah, man. And just what a fucking ridiculous incident, like running into this guy.
I do not envy you. I mean, having to find a bathroom in the city is just a horrible experience usually. And this sounds even worse.
I don't do it justice talking about it, man. It was quite ridiculous, honestly. And I wish I had like one of those little video cameras like hidden on my shirt to catch it.
Gotta pull out your cell phone next time.
Well, welcome to American Slacker Podcast. As always, I'm Matt.
And I'm Jesse, and I'm not standing in line for no goddamn bathroom.
God, dude, don't.
Push my way to the front.
Don't. Just adult diapers over bathrooms anymore, I swear.
Oh, there you go.
I'm onto something.
It's one way to solve it.
Not about pissing myself.
So at the beginning of our show, we always like to give a little shout out to the people who are supporting us on Twitter by retweeting our latest tweet, which is always, our latest episode. So Matt, this time around, we got, I think it was like 24 retweets total.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to go with 12 because it's episode 112, and this comes out on the 12th of September. So
Oh, there you go.
double 12.
A lot of 12s going on.
We'll make it a triple 12.
Number 12 is the Yes, But Why podcast, and that's at YBY Podcast on Twitter. And the Yes, But Why podcast interviews comedians and writers and musicians. Everyone has a story to tell and advice to give. It's funny. They're part of the HC Universal Network.
Okay, all right. Check it out. Seems legit.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to give them a download. Thank you again for retweeting our pin tweet there at Yes But Why, and be sure to check them out and subscribe to their show.
Oh, yeah.
So, Matt, what do we got coming up in today's show?
Well, as always, we're going to start out with the bizarre news, which we're going to talk about a bunch of squirrel monkeys, cute little squirrel monkeys, that beat the shit out of a burglar all night long.
Damn.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's one of my favorite stories I think we've ever talked about.
Some black slate shit.
Then we're going to get into another one of my favorite pastimes. It's Xbox gaming. We're going to talk about some video games that have come out, some games we wish that would come out on Xbox, but are exclusive to the shitty console that is just much less than Xbox. Let's be honest.
Console wars continue.
Oh, man. Then we're going to finish it up. We got some artists we're going to talk about in music. So stick around. We're going to entertain the fuck out of you guys.
You know it. And with our weird news, we always like to start out with a little bit of weed news. This time around, we're talking about Matt's state, actually, of New York, and my home state.
Oh, shit.
And there's a gubernatorial race going on there currently between the front runner, Andrew Cuomo, who's the current governor, and a bunch of other people vying for the position, including Cynthia Nixon, who you may recognize as, I think, Miranda on Sex and the City.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I'm not a
Never
big
watched
Sex
that.
and the City fan, but I mean, I've seen it in passing. I understand it as a cultural reference. And as soon as I saw her face, I was like, hey, I recognize her. She's running for the governor's seat of New York, and one of the main policy planks that she's running on is legalizing recreational marijuana. And she's doing it based on a ethical standpoint that, a lot of people end up swept up in the criminal justice system, especially people that are of, Latino and black descent, the racial inequalities, if you will, in the criminal justice system, and how people of color they're disproportionately arrested for cannabis crimes.
True. Yeah. Especially when you bring statistics into it, it's scary.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the main thing she's running on, as her big policy platform, to legalize marijuana in New York. And she's saying, New York should have done this a long time ago. And if Cuomo was actually behind the idea of doing it, it would have been done before, say Massachusetts or Vermont.
Yeah, true, right? I mean, they should have followed California's lead a long, long time ago.
Yeah, definitely. And, she has a lot of good things to say. You can check out her website, which is CynthiaForNewYork.com, where you can read more about her policies and all that kind of stuff. She even put out a video where just that she recorded in her home, trying to, basically talk about how 80% of New Yorkers arrested in connection with marijuana were black or Latino, despite roughly equal rates of use among white people and communities of color. So she's really hitting this head on, and she has a message that she's trying to put through. And I support her. I think Cuomo's been doing stuff for New York for a while, and maybe it's time to step up and let someone, or step back rather, and let someone else with a vision that's more towards the future take that position.
Yeah, just a different vision in general, man. Sometimes that's what it takes.
An Emerson College survey from November of 2017 said that 62% of registered New York voters support legalization of recreational marijuana.
Yeah.
So it's more in line with the, majority.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. And you can see it. You rarely run into people that are not pro-weed.
Right. And, I guess in defense of Mr. Cuomo, he has pointed to a study that he had commissioned in January to study the effects of New York, of the effects on New York of legalization in the neighboring states. But that doesn't do anything to actually push reform for New York. So I applaud Cynthia Nixon. I wish I was still in New York to be able to, help fight the good fight. Mm-hmm. Matt, you are. So you could always look into her politics and see if it aligns with you.
I will definitely be keeping an eye on this.
And if you want to read up a little bit more yourself, we'll be posting this article up on our Facebook page, as we do with all of the cannabis news articles every week.
Nice. Awesome. Check it out. Dynamite. Man. Speaking of dynamite, think you can acquire some of that, Jesse?
Some dynamite? I got a guy. I got a dynamite guy. I got a dynamite guy and a C4 guy.
We'll talk after. That's not what I was really expecting to hear.
Okay.
We're going to redo this. I want you to say no. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know where they're... All right, let's do this again.
Okay.
Jesse, you think you could acquire some dynamite?
No, absolutely not. That's so hard to get. I don't definitely have a guy for that.
Yeah. So, man, what if I told you might want to just, take a look in your basement? You never know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe packed away in a box or something.
Yeah, man, because that's what happened to the lady in our next story here. That was the best transition ever, by the way. I think we did maybe
Gold
nominated
star
for
transition.
an award. Yeah, okay. So in Connecticut, we had a 30-year-old woman who severely injured herself after she mistakenly lit dynamite that she mistook for a candle that was chilling in the basement of her house.
I'd say a candle and dynamite are very different.
Very different. Now, here's the other thing. They had been in this house for a couple of years, so 2 years, right?
Okay.
Just had them chilling around thinking that they were candles. They didn't further investigate, anything in the house they had bought, apparently.
It's like, oh, it's got a wick. It must be a candle.
It looks like a candle. Yeah. And also, wait, the previous owner, what kind of irresponsible asshole just has dynamite chilling in the basement like it's nothing?
I mean, maybe they had a lot of it and they just forgot some of it. But then that's a different kind of problem when you have too much dynamite that you're forgetting some.
Well, cue this power outage from a thunderstorm, and this lady, 9 o'clock at night, decided to light the candle. And, hey, that candle started to flicker, apparently. And she just held on to it. And she apparently lost a couple fingers, messed up her face.
Ooh.
Got some real damage here, man. It was a quarter stick of dynamite, which is pretty significant.
That's an M80.
And I mean, no. A lot of people mistake that, actually.
Really?
M80 is quite smaller, and also firecrackers like that do not have nitroglycerin in them.
Okay.
So they're really nowhere near as powerful as a full-on construction dynamite.
Damn.
Yeah,
that dynamite's generally used to blow up like rocks and shit.
Yeah, it's really just to demolish anything. Like, and yeah, they drill holes into like big rock structures and just fucking
Drop it down
pieces,
and blow it up.
That's why the highways are created. It's all like master demolitions that like get that perfect line of rock cut. That's really done with dynamite and shit.
So that's some dangerous shit to just have lying around during a blackout.
Especially me and you talked about this before. It's really unreliable and unsafe over time. It just degrades to where like it can get set off by vibrations accidentally even at one point. So
yeah, nitroglycerin is highly volatile.
Yeah, so man, it's just not something you want chilling potentially under your bedroom.
Yeah. Damn, so she lived? Like, she gonna be alright?
She's gonna be alright, and
thank goodness.
No charges are being pressed. Because it's very illegal to own dynamite.
Yeah, I would imagine.
You know, that was
let
one
alone
of the
a
first
box
things.
of it.
They were like, where the fuck did you get this from?
It's like, it's just in the basement.
Yeah. I don't know, man. They're not even saying anything about pursuing like charges on the previous owner, which I feel like they should investigate why the previous owner had dynamite again. But you know, maybe it was construction Bob and he just had some hanging around from the good old days.
Or maybe the previous owner had passed away or something.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Is like it's like some old time shit where the old time they didn't have so much restrictions.
Right.
Maybe
Oh yeah, those have been down there since the 30s.
Yeah.
It's like, oh fuck.
Shit. The police took them and properly detonated the last remaining dynamite sticks. So no need to worry.
They didn't do something cool with it, like blow up a fridge.
Nah. Well, maybe they did. I mean, it
blow up a
doesn't say
car
anything like that.
An old junker.
They were properly detonated by the Connecticut State Police.
They're just picking them up or lighting them and throwing them in the air for funsies.
They're like, hey, you know that impounded car we've had lingering that nobody's claimed? Let's fucking take that.
There you go. That's a good Friday. So we're continuing with the illegal shit, and we're talking about a man who concealed knife blades in his rectum.
That seems like the worst spot to conceal knife blades.
Yeah,
maybe I'm ignorant, but.
And as usual, you know, putting something in your butt you're doing it because you're trying to sneak it into prison.
Oh man. So was he visiting and gonna pass these knives off, or was he like going into prison himself?
Well, he said that he was actually kidnapped and forced at knife point to insert a package of marijuana and a package of knife blades into his rectum in order to smuggle them into a jail in Ontario, Canada.
Okay. So he probably was getting processed himself then.
He was trying to, smuggle them in to get them inside to a couple other people, and he was told that if he didn't, that he would be assaulted by the inmates on the inside.
Oh man.
They ended up taking him into custody, and they kept him for a while, and it said that he had the packages in his cavity for close to 25 hours before it was discovered.
I don't know what do you think they were in? Like, do you think they were just taped up a little bit? You know, maybe the point had like a cap on it or something?
Just like a dirty rag.
Rusty blades and a dirty rag. Get up there!
Oh God, that's terrible. Fucking, he's claiming like that this was all done to him under duress. That they said they had him at knife point. They're like, put this up your butt, and then like. If he got in there without the stuff in there, they were gonna hurt him inside. So he's saying he had no choice. The judge does not believe him.
I don't believe him.
It's not sitting well with the
choice.
judge.
I don't know. I just.
Now what confuses me, I almost think that the knife blades are obviously weapons, for being in the jail, like protection. Yeah. But like, how are you gonna open the knife blade? It's like when you get like box cutter, but it's in the blister pack, and you like need a box cutter to open the box cutter. Now they got a poop covered like knife blade, but how are they gonna get it open? They don't have a knife to like cut the knife blades open.
Hey, if it's a dirty rag, man, they just gotta unfold.
Then you just unfold it. But I'm almost imagining like if it's all wrapped up in plastic and whatnot, then they're gonna have to dig in that. Fucking get those blades out there.
Savages, and it's a bare knife hanging up that dude's butt.
That's gonna do some harm. Never put something sharp in your butt. I think that's a good life lesson. If we've been pushing like home any message with this podcast. It's been, don't put sharp things in your butt. Like, just don't.
I'd say that's one of the top ones.
Yeah, that's up there for life
Hopefully
lessons.
they got a tetanus shot too, man. I mean, it's just,
And I think
so
they
good.
just took his packages and threw him in jail.
sad. And now you're in jail without your butt knives and weed.
And he thought it was tobacco. I don't know why I don't know why that matters.
Oh, officer, they told me that was tobacco.
Like, these are knives and weed. It's like, didn't feel like knives and weed. I know what knives and weed feel like, but that didn't feel like that. That felt more like tobacco.
Man. Well, we had a mistaken identity during smuggling, I guess.
I guess so.
He's such an innocent guy, just caught up at the wrong time in the wrong place.
So says he.
Oh, man. We got kind of the same story going on here. This guy was just in the wrong time, the wrong place at the wrong time type deal. He was just trying to enjoy his lunch on the beach. It seems like this guy's really the victim who gets the shit under the stick here, honestly.
Okay, what happened?
So we got a gentleman who's enjoying a burger on the beach. He's at Hampton Beach, New Hampshire, hanging out, enjoying the cheeseburger. That's when all of a sudden a seagull swipes in and tries to make it with his burger.
Oh shit!
Just get his lunch, man. So this guy, without even thinking, he does like some kind of swinging move with his leg, and he accidentally whacks the seagull.
Oh!
Yeah.
Pulls a Bruce Lee spin kick on this fucking bird?
Yeah, which, I mean, you feel kind of bad about, okay, I accidentally hit the seagull, but he was in my meal, right?
Right.
Well, unfortunately, people witnessed it, and now New Hampshire Fish and Game has moved in to hit him with a $124 fine because seagulls are federally protected under the Migratory Bird Treaty Act.
Really? I would not have guessed that. Seagulls are protected.
Never knew that, and I feel like they're the last bird I would have expected to be on
Are
this list.
pigeons on there too at this point? Like,
yeah, right? Jesus.
They're fucking everywhere.
Yeah, it's the gentleman seems to be pretty, remorseful about it. He says it's a 1 in a million bad luck kick that couldn't be repeated.
And I think we talked about these odds earlier off mic, and I think we got better odds than that. If you give me a million seagulls, I'll kick it more than once. I'll get more than one.
Yeah, give me a million shots at kicking a seagull. I'll go out there on my own.
I get one shot at a million seagulls.
I will sneak out there, see how the first 100 go. If that's not good, I'll bury myself in the sand.
I might just go full body from the top ropes, like on these seagulls.
Drop kick a seagull?
Do it if you gotta. If we're talking about the stats and getting purely high numbers, then that's your go-to.
Do it for the cast. All right.
So this guy's remorseful though. He feels bad.
Man. He is. He was just trying to shoo the bird away, and unfortunately, he did strike the seagull hard.
Ooh.
Quote it.
Hard. That's it. He said, "quote hard." Oh
yeah,
god.
He even admitted he whacked it hard, which I don't think was the best move. If I was representing him, I would say, hey, we don't need to admit the level of strength used to strike this bird.
Could have been a light tap for all we know.
Yeah. Hey, a light connection.
Did they say if it was a KO? Did he just like flatline this bird?
There's no mention, but I gotta say that the offense that he was charged with, it's a violation, and it's called taking a protected bird during a closed season. So so two part. There must be an open season on seagulls,
when
which
you
I didn't
can
know
kick
about.
them.
And B, there's a potential this guy killed this thing. So I don't know. It doesn't say he killed it, but I'm wondering if maybe there's a smashed seagull behind this story here. I don't know. If anybody else knows any deeper, let us know, because I couldn't find any more.
Seagull kicking season's open. We gotta go.
Open season on their asses. I didn't know.
I guess maybe there's a point where
like
their
the possum of the
population
sky.
numbers. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Am I wrong to think that? No, right?
Yeah, they're definitely
dirty
the possum of
birds.
the sky. Just like pigeons are the rats of
Dirty
the
little
sky.
Yes, they're everywhere, and you go to the city, and you're just like,
It's open season on these bitches.
yeah.
We're kicking birds left and right.
They should have like a month off every year. That's it.
Yeah, and you
There's
know
no
what?
lack of that.
I want to put a little caveat out there. I'm not talking about kicking birds that aren't doing anything. I don't want you sneaking up on a bird that's minding its own business. But if one fucks with you, if one is harassing your child, if one looked at your wife with like a bad like look in its eye, then you got open season. Check the date, look at the calendar, see if it's open season. If it is, you deliver the fiercest fucking roundhouse to that seagull.
Oh my god. Shouldn't have gave that dirty bird look.
I heard him saying racist things under his breath. You put that seagull into the ground.
I know what that chirp meant.
Yep. Open season. So we're getting to another little bit of crime here, and this one has a bit of a mystery to it. I was intrigued when I read this.
Okay.
You know, you have a dog. Mm-hmm. Do you trust those dog sitter apps, the ones like where you can like let someone come and watch your dog or walk your dog for you while you're out?
Well, I have one where I bring my dog to a person and I found this person through an app.
Okay.
So, you know, it works for me. She's a nice lady and she's a teacher, so, you know, I trust her.
And that's a lot less of a risk, I guess. Bringing your dog to someone else's place, letting someone in your house is always a bit of a risk.
Yeah, I'm sketched out. I don't do that for any type thing. Like, if they're gonna do work at my house, like, I want to be there.
Absolutely.
Like, nah,
and it's not that you don't trust any individual. It's just you don't know what a stranger will end up doing in your place, which is what ended up happening in Colorado Springs, Colorado, when the Cleet Keller, two-time Olympic gold medalist swimmer, left their dog to be sat at home by this person on one of these apps. They came back to a scene that can only be described as horrific. Now, the dog is okay. I'll say that up front for anyone worrying.
That's what I wanted to hear.
The dog was found locked in the room where it had peed by it. So clearly the dog had been in there for a while by itself. But the scene itself that takes a little bit of mystery to be decided here is the two shirtless men, the camcorder, and the bottle of personal lubricant that were found along with the dog sitter lady who was taking a shower at the time.
Okay, so she was doing some kind of personal video thing going on here.
Now, Sherlock, before you decide on your own, can I give you her story?
Oh my god.
She says that she had locked her keys. Her keys were stuck in the lock of her car, and she didn't have WD-40, which is why she had brought out the personal lubricant, which she uses for, you know, things. She forgot to put it back away after she had used it, and
hey,
she wasn't.
Hold on, I just want to say that it is like the liquid duct tape. All right.
Okay. Or well, it'd be liquid duct tape, lubricant.
Yeah, it's like it's the equivalent of like liquid, like as far as like what liquid can do. Like of course it's not.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It's not sticky. You're saying it's versatile.
You can use it for everything.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
I mean?
That's true.
Yeah.
So she also said that she wasn't aware that she couldn't have guests over, which is her explanation for the two shirtless men. She said that there was a wet spot that was also found on the couch that the owner of the house assumed was bodily fluids.
Oh, the worst kind of fluid.
She claims that was from a shower that she had taken earlier, that she sat on the couch while she was still like wet from the shower.
Oh my god.
Even though she was found taking what would be a second shower when the owner had come home.
This is just a dirty.
There's a lot lining up in this story that, and I think the most telling thing here is the quote from the owner about their dog Jimbo. They're saying there's it's a total mess, just a total mess, and I can only imagine what poor Jimbo saw in there. Poor fucking Jimbo the dog, man.
Man, if that dog had a voice,
You'd be like, you have no idea what I just witnessed.
Man,
some dirty fucking shit.
That's horrible. Hopefully they locked him away and he didn't have to see any of it.
It's I am guessing that's what happened, because if the dog peed in the room and stuff like that, it was probably in there for a while. The dog was scared out of its mind.
Crazy noises.
The house also smelled apparently horrific, and they needed.
What do you think it smelled like with two burly men and this dog-sitting woman?
Not sex and candy. That's what I'll fucking tell you.
Oh, yeah.
So they had to air the house out. They kicked him out of there. Another odd thing about this whole thing is the fact that the dog sitter actually has a really good review on the app. They've done almost. They've done almost, yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because they've done almost, or over 300 walks and dog sittings and had a 4.96 out of 5.
Man, that times 2, that's a lot of D's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's very true.
If
Yeah,
you
I
walk
don't
2
know
dogs
if all
at a time.
300 times
Let's get your
it
mind out of the
turned
gutter.
I don't know if all 300 times it turned into like a sex romp in someone's house, but still, that's very odd. It's either a very odd
You
misunderstanding.
think this is the first? Is there a chance this is the first? Like,
It can't be
you know
the
what?
first.
I'm
It's
gonna go
never
wild
the
out.
first. You never get caught the first time. Everyone who says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I never do this kind of thing," it's like, no, you've done this 200 times and now you got caught.
You're a fucking pro. You're lying to me.
Exactly.
Man, you know what they need? They need a couple of watch squirrel monkeys. Because they deal with shenanigans.
I was gonna say they're kind of tiny from what I
Yeah, but they deal with
pictured.
shenanigans, man, and I'm going to tell you why in this next story.
Let's hear it.
We got a drunk man who wanted to impress his girlfriend. Well, he's a drunk boy almost. He's 23 years old.
Okay.
So he's still a young lad.
Young man,
you know.
yeah.
Got the youth courage, we'll call it. So, man, apparently...
young, dumb, and full of terrible ideas.
Yeah, I think that's how it goes. He described himself as high as a kite, and this is when he broke into the Wellington Zoo in New Zealand.
Uh-oh.
Okay, now he decided to break through 2 sets of padlocks and get into the exhibit with the squirrel monkeys. And the whole reasoning for this was that he wanted to impress his girlfriend and steal a squirrel monkey for her.
What kind of plan is that?
I don't know, man. Hey, you know, girls like little things that are furry and cute, right?
Yeah, but how do you even assume, like, okay, you get the squirrel monkey in hand. Hypothetical. I have a
Oh, how's
squirrel
he gonna
monkey in my
manhandle a
hand.
squirrel?
How are you getting that from the enclosure to your house
Dude.
without some sort of small leash?
You're
That's
thinking
the
like a
only thing.
logical thinker. That's
Yeah,
where you're
I'm not
wrong.
drunk at a zoo. That's
where
the problem.
you've gone completely array here. So this guy just balls deep, thinks he's gonna go in there and scoop it up. You know, like, oh, monkey's my friend.
Yeah, like a cat. Just pick it up.
Oh yeah. Well, he spent the whole night with these monkeys.
Oh,
God. He made no friends.
Monkey
Okay.
House of Horror.
There was a couple of there's 2 female monkeys that ended up being a little injured. Nothing major. They were mainly stressed. But the real deal was that this dude was found with a broken leg, 2
Ooh.
fractured teeth, a sprained ankle, and bruises on his back.
How'd they fuck up his teeth?
Dude, they beat the shit out of this guy.
Threw
I don't
a
know
rock
if they were
at
using yeah, that's what I'm wondering what the environment was. If they were like throwing like shit at him, you know, like fucking sticks and rocks.
Well, I know we've been playing Ewok Hunt on fucking Star Wars. I'm imagining it's something like that, just small, like
Man.
teddy bear-like creatures attacking you
Yeah.
from all angles.
Oh my god, yeah. And he really got fucked up, man, and got caught because of this whole deal. I'd imagine he wasn't able to run away from the broken
dragged his
leg.
ass out in the
How did
morning?
they break his leg, man? That's what I want to know. Like, one of them like
Held
hold
him down.
and like the other one's like curb stomp him. He's like, you. And he's just,
Hit him with a rock.
oh my god, hit him with a rock. Like what's that movie? The Stephen King movie with the fucking lady that breaks the guy's legs. Storm of the Century.
Oh, fucking Misery.
Oh, Misery. I was just
So
trying
it's a combination. What happened that night's a combination of Misery and Space 2001: Space Odyssey with the scene with the apes.
You can't take one of us with you, but also you can never leave.
Pretty much. That's terrible. Well, you know what? No, I'm not. I don't advocate violence, but you can't reason with spider monkeys.
You can't reason with spider monkeys
No.
at all, man.
So in that case, it's just like you kind of get what you should be expecting.
He definitely got a little taste of his medicine times 100. He just wanted to snatch up a cute animal and probably had no idea that this was a possible outcome.
They snatched his ass up.
The look of fear I would kill to have a photo, like a snapshot of like that moment where it turned from like, hey, look at a cute monkey, to like, he's trying to climb his way out.
That's why we
scratching his way
need
out.
to, you know, have more support for these zoos and stuff, so that they can get
Oh my
CC
God.
cameras and we can get video of this kind of shit when it goes
Sensors,
down.
too. Sensors so that people can get there and save him from being in there for so long and receiving this kind of ass whooping.
Right? Next time, it might be someone wanting a lion. Shit,
God,
shit'll
I
get
hope
crazy.
not. Hopefully they have more than 2 padlocks on the Lions. That's all I gotta say.
Right. Well, we have more animal abuse in our next story.
Great.
With a man in Kennewick, Washington, who was arrested for having meth and also for first-degree animal cruelty because he was found lying next to a beaver with his pants off.
What?
Yeah, this guy had beaver fever. The 35-year-old man was found after a woman hit a... I don't know if she hit the beaver or she drove past and saw the beaver was hit by a car, and she like went to go get a box to like put the beaver in it and, you know, bring it to an animal hospital because the thing was still alive. She felt bad for it. So she left, yeah. She went to go get something, and then when she came back, she saw someone laying down on the road next to it. And she thought like, oh, maybe the guy's like trying to like comfort it or like keep it like, I don't know. Do you comfort a beaver in its time of death? Like, is that like you try to talk him on to the other side? Like, go to the big fucking dam in the sky? Like, how's that fucking work?
Go ahead, little buddy.
So she gets closer and realizes this guy ain't got no pants on. And that's what she called police. And she's like, we might have a dude fucking a beaver. You gotta get over here.
Man. That poor beaver doesn't have enough going on in its life. It's gotta get fucked on its way out.
Well, yeah, and if it wasn't dead, it got fucked to death. That's the unfortunate thing here is that we have a man killing beavers with his dick. We can't have this going on, Washington. You gotta get this shit under control.
You gotta deal with that. That's crazy.
Beaver fever's on the rise. Maybe it's a psychological thing. Maybe he's, not quite right after smoking all that meth. Maybe the beaver was on meth. Maybe the beaver was hooking. We don't know all the details to this story.
We don't know all the details. All we could say is don't utilize prostitute beavers and definitely don't use meth.
And beavers don't do drugs. All right.
My God. Yeah, beavers don't do drugs for sure. Well, we're going over to Virginia where we've got a man who wants to deal with problems himself. We can't help but be respectful of that. With a man who wants to deal with issues on his own and just have it handled. So we got a man who's had an issue with people. He lives on a nice popular road. Happens to be a bus stop right outside of his house. And he's sick of people leaving garbage all over his house, stepping on his lawn, messing his lawn up. Men like to take pride in their lawn. Come on. It's what we do when we get older, right? I feel like that's just a thing.
That's true.
It
becomes a hobby.
And the way he decided he was going to deal with this was he put up an electric fence so that anybody that came near his lawn got a little deterrent. Shit. So, as you can imagine, if you lived in this neighborhood, you might have an issue, especially if you had children, right?
Yeah, if there's a stop with an electric fence, that's like a pit of like spikes or something like by the bus stop. Not necessarily the best thing for the kids.
Yeah, man, and that's exactly what happened. A lot of people were like, "What the fuck? We don't want our kids like getting shocked by it or falling into it and getting like fucking shocked for a while."
People complain about public schools not teaching kids anything. They'll get a lesson that day. Don't touch the fucking fence. That shit'll shock you.
You get taught about the streets. Man.
Yes, the fucking hard knocks.
Oh man. Yeah, and he ended up having to remove it.
Fair enough.
A couple of parents, or one of the parents even ran up and touched it, and he was like, I got a slight shock. It wasn't that great. He's like, I understand the concern of getting rid of this thing.
He's like 3 out of 10.
Man, but yeah, you don't need a kid with like a heart issue or something
going
fucking
right?
killed.
You don't want that fat kid leaning on the fence.
Oh man.
He's just gonna roll into it. It's gonna take the whole thing down around him. Smell like barbecue at the bus stop.
Yeah, you don't want that happening. They probably did him a favor before some kind of real liability happened, or he came out one day and just found like somebody's house cat fried down the fence.
Right? Oh my God! Or someone throws a jacket over that shit, starts a fire. Like,
oh man, yeah.
I mean, when you're just hooking up car batteries to fucking metal posts outside your property.
Yeah, man. You can't be doing that kind of shit. It's just not safe. It's okay if you got a farm and you need to keep horses or livestock in.
Right, or wolves
It doesn't work for people.
Yeah, I mean, it can. Just
it can.
It's not good for children. Like, we don't want to shock children.
Should not be in an urban environment.
We just want to get him on the bus and have him not litter. Maybe throw in a did he ever think of a trash can at the bus stop?
Yeah,
maybe
right.
maybe that could solve the fucking problem.
Yeah, trash can and a sign that says, just put the fucking garbage in here.
Yeah, no littering.
No litter.
Just I often wonder if those $1,000 like fines are true on that. It's like, was there a camera on the sign?
Yeah.
Is
how
it
are you
like
gonna catch them?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean,
I usually see those signs and I see like shit all over the place still.
Yeah. So I don't know how big of a deterrent it is. Either way,
I'm never like, ooh, they're gonna get you.
If you've set up your own electric fence, please send us pictures to the podcast at AmericanSlackerPodcast@gmail.com. We're interested to see what kind of electric toys you've come up with.
Yeah,
to keep people off your property.
People encountering them.
Yeah, right.
And interacting.
Speaking of funny, we have a funny clip for you. We always like to post these up on the Facebook group, so you can get a little laugh during your week.
Oh yeah.
And this time we have like a video game one.
Yeah, it's a video game we've played, and I didn't have the chance to see this.
Yeah, it's one of the games with gold that was given away a while back. It's a baseball game. It's kind of cartoony. It was a lot of fun. We played against each other a couple of times, I think.
Yeah. It was we played more than a couple times. It was pretty fun. But unfortunately, the pitcher's not having that good of a day in this game that we're watching.
I would say that they're dead, Matt.
They're dead. They're most likely dead.
There's the most violent line drive I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, the batter just makes a complete line drive right from the bat to the dome of the pitcher. And that pitcher doesn't get up while everybody else is like running around like, huh.
The catcher even picks up the ball and it's just sort of like, am I throw this to someone?
Yeah, he looks at third and then second. He's like, what?
It's like, what? Huh? Okay. So we'll be sure to post this up on the Facebook group so you can get a little peek at this. Maybe you'll find it funny. And maybe you've played this game before when we've suggested it through the Games with Gold. But either way, we're hoping it'll brighten up your week.
Oh, yeah. Now we're going to get into Xbox gaming. But before we do that, we got a word from the Murderous Miners Killer Kids podcast.
This is Murderous Miners, Killer Kids, bringing you the frightening and truly insane tales of children with the thirst to kill. Kindergarten through 12th grade murderers. True stories thoroughly researched. Join us weekly for new tales of parents' worst nightmares on Murderous Miners, Killer Kids.
Game over.
It's me, Mario.
Finish him.
And we are back with some Xbox gaming. You guys know we love to play Xbox and let you know what's going on with the latest news from that corner of the globe.
Nerd out. Hell yeah.
Nerd out
All
in Nerd
about it.
City.
Hell yeah, man. PUBG making bold moves lately. They fully released PUBG, the full game, even though we've been playing it forever now. Which was kind of cool because there's a couple changes.
I forgot that it was like just a preview.
Yeah, it was. I hate they do that move, the game preview, so they're not liable if they go like under or like they don't have to like promise you to finish the whole process even.
It's an interesting model for the gaming community because normally you would have needed, a larger like group behind you, like a company, and but now they can kind of release stuff and like fund it a little bit more and then give people more once they are able to. I don't know. It's not necessarily a bad thing.
No. I mean, which is cool. We keep getting new maps in pub. They released a new map with this, and we've been enjoying it. It's a small map with a new mode.
Sandhawk.
Yeah, it's a really quick battle, and it goes fast and furious. I'm gonna let you know. It's a whole different beast, but they've got a new like a way that you can buy clothing through your crates. There's a whole DLC package thing. That Sandhawk DLC, you pay $10 and you get all the privileges of unlocking shit that you can't get, if you don't.
Which we noticed in Rocket League as well. That seems to be a new thing they're doing. In all these games.
I wonder if all games are going to adapt to that model.
Possibly.
Who knows?
A little premium. You get a little extra for that $10. But they also have achievements. They've now put in challenges where you can earn XP towards these items that Matt was just talking about. It's really cool. It's sort of a revamped. I only like playing pub when like you and some of our other friends were playing. I'm not really a solo pub guy. But this actually, I'm getting back into it.
Yeah, I've been playing solo with this, I've got to say. It's hard, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another cool game that's now come out for the Xbox, it's been out for a while, actually, since 2013, is DayZ.
Yeah, PC's been playing this for a minute now, but we're finally getting our hand at it, which is cool. I like these PC games porting over, just like Pub. Pub was a PC game ported over, so...
It's like, why not
cool.
if you can write the code? Yeah, DayZ is an open world, like, zombie survival type of thing where you can team up with other players or play against them to try and survive, and I guess it sort of whittles down like PUBG, if I had to guess.
Yeah, it's a huge map, too. 225 kilometers squared, apparently, so that's pretty fucking big.
Yeah.
And, it's just like Pub, but, like, basically you're just trying to survive the apocalypse, avoiding zombies and, other players. There's 60 people, man. That's crazy. So, I don't know the timeline exactly, how long these matches go for, but it seems like a crazy concept.
It's something I'd be interested in checking out. I mean, it is only $40 compared to the normal $60 new title type price that you see. It's, it looks like it would be a better version of 7 Days to Die. Yeah.
Honestly, for me, it's like 12 zombie games too late. That's why I haven't bought it yet. It's like, I'll wait for it to be on sale, honestly, at this point. Like, there's been too many zombie games.
That's a good point. And now that we do some game share, if I end up getting it, you'll
it.
end up getting it as well.
Yeah.
So
True, I always forget we have that,
Find a friend to game share with today.
It works.
Now, something we unfortunately won't be able to share with each other, the bane of our current Xbox existence, is the new Spider-Man game. Now, why are we covering a game that's not available on Xbox? Because we're upset, that's why.
We are very upset. This is one of the best looking games of the year, and we can't even fucking play it unless we go out and chisel out for a $400 console that we have no other interest in.
Or the $600 special edition Spider-Man console that has his symbol on it, which is pretty beautiful.
It probably is cool. The custom consoles usually are pretty sick. But either way, no! I'm not converting. I'm an Xbox gamer, and I'm just upset, man. Do you think we're ever going to get it? Or is it like just...
The photo mode is so beautiful.
Dude, everything about it. The way that Spider-Man slings around is just so realistic compared to any other Spider-Man game I've ever seen. Because I played them all. I love it.
There's
it's like one of the best superheroes.
In that one. Oh my god, I'm so upset. I've seen a decent amount of the photo mode. Just makes me want to cry for not being able to play it, because I've seen a decent amount of photographers, like professional photographers, post stuff up on Reddit.
It's always fun to see that.
This is amazing.
Forza is another community with like professionals get into and like bring the cars out in environments and do like cool photos with, like I like that
Makes
in a game.
sense, yeah.
It's like adapting real world art to this fake world.
Right. So if you do want to make the jump or, add another console to your collection, if you're only an Xbox gamer like we are, I guess the cheapest you'd be able to get all the Spider-Man goodness is, what, $360? Because $60 for the game, about $300 for the console.
Plus tax, yeah.
Plus tax.
Yeah, so you're $400 plus the...
But back to stuff that we can do. We have a little bit of news, I guess, in terms of the Xbox Quests. It seems as if they're phasing out the regular, just anyone can do them quests.
Seems very minimal. There's nothing for this month.
And last month, I believe, they introduced the Xbox Games with Gold, the Xbox Game Pass quests.
Yeah, so if you pay for the Game Pass, then you get an access to the quest. So it's just another way they can get you to... edge you to try to buy some more shit of theirs.
And now with the vanishing of the regular quests and an update for September for the Game Pass quests, I'm almost 90% sure that this is the route that they're going. They're going to phase out the other quests. They're done. You're going to have to buy Game Pass. If they end up, putting something out by the next time we do video games, I'll be sure to update that. But if I had to guess, this is the route that they're going.
Yeah, it's another adaptation of this pay-to-play era we live in. You know, as we were talking about the pub and Rocket League adaptation of this new model they're using. This is the same thing with Xbox. They gotta get modern with their shit. The Quest was around for, what, a couple of years now, right? I mean, it's time to adapt.
They've had it for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's cool and it's fun. We happen to have Game Pass right now because for like the last 2 weeks of August, I believe, they were selling access to Game Pass for 2 months for $2.
Yeah, they were doing Xbox Gold too, 2 months for $2, which was cool for people that don't really take the chance to play live.
I'm wondering if it was a big end of the year or end of the summer push before kids go back to school.
Yeah, Labor Day sales, man. Labor Day sales, as always. And
it worked out, though, because now we can actually tell you what the Game Pass quests are.
And there's a lot of good games on there. We've been playing a few, so check it out.
The past quests for September are all around the Halo Master Chief Collection game. So they want you to play 120 minutes of the Halo Master Chief Collection. They want you to complete 5 new achievements in that game and also increase your gamer score by 50 points.
Okay. Alright, so they want you to go balls deep in the Master Chief Collection. So
Pretty
easy
much.
if you're a Halo person. You're fucked if you've already gotten all the achievements in Halo.
Yes, that is something that I saw brought up on one of the subreddits. They were talking about how, I already beat that game long ago, so now I can't be entered.
Yeah, sucks to be you, Darren. You're out of here.
Right, and they end up a little bit screwed in this situation because you could end up winning a custom, I think, Halo Xbox with a controller. They stopped doing solid gold Xboxes now.
Oh yeah, they couldn't just keep cranking those out.
No.
Man, I wonder how much they actually gave away. How many of those?
Yeah, I never saw any, any like announcement for a winner or anything. That would have been cool if they at least like told people.
Yeah, showed a picture of the person like with their gold Xbox.
Right.
Now we're like, I wonder if there even exist these gold Xboxes.
And I guess you can get a grand entry prize and a $5 gift card to use for Halo 3 ODST. If you complete all of these, the big prize is the Xbox. So, that's what you'll be going for.
Yeah, the other thing's kind of junky. Like Halo 3 ODSTs are what, a decade old? Get the fuck out of here!
I don't
fuck
know
out of
what's
here!
To do with all this, they're pushing specifics, I guess.
Let's move along to the shit they are going to give you for free. It's time to talk about the games with gold. And you've been talking about this first one for a bit.
Yeah, actually, I mentioned earlier, I was like, I want to jump back on that game. We got Prison Architect on Xbox One. It's available for the whole month of September from the 1st to the 30th. And it's a strategy building simulation game with a little bit of like narrative story inside it as well. Basically, you're taking calls from the it's not a commissioner, the warden, I guess, of the prison, and you're supposed to handle different scenarios. So, like, in one of the missions, the kitchen gets set on fire, and you need to rebuild it. It's very complicated. It's got a lot of layers to it. But there's also little stories that are being told, like the mob boss gets caught on fire, and then, like, he dies, so then there's, like, this power struggle going on. It's weird. It's not something I've ever played before, so that's why I'm kind of intrigued by it and I'm enjoying it.
That's cool to see a unique model come out like that, something that's not like the everyday copy.
Yeah, it's totally. I thought it was going to be like Escapist or Escapist 2 or something, but it's very different. Yeah,
I just feel like that's a constant thing that I seeing Call of Duty adapt to the Battle Royale mode just really like tweaks me. It's like, that's not why people play Call of Duty. Like, stop.
Right.
I don't want to see that copying.
It's hard to just come up with something, totally new.
Yeah.
But that's what we like.
Now this next game, man, it seems like an overhead shooter version of Destiny.
Okay.
It's a little odd. Live Lock. And this game came out in 2016, the end of 2016 summer. And apparently it's similar to Diablo 2, if you're like a Diablo fan. And it's guns in an post-apocalyptic setting, so...
Okay.
It falls into that niche. I haven't had my hands on it, It looks very entertaining, and I've got it downloaded, so I'm going to get on this. But anything's worth downloading for free, of course. Now, it's got a big following, too, I've got to say. For one of these little, like, arcadey games, a lot of people play this shit. I see a lot of pages on this on Reddit and shit.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to check it out. Along with our next one, Lego Star Wars 3 Clone Wars. I mean, the Lego games are always just a lot of fun, especially the Star Wars ones.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and it's always smooth controlling, too. I've got to say, like, the controls are always very smooth in the game. I don't know much about the Clone Wars story at all. That's like a whole other, like, adaptation, I feel like. Because this is more like the cartoony version of Star Wars, too, right? Like that Clone Wars?
Yeah, I mean, Lego is always going to be cartoony. I think it's based off of the third movie, which was the Clone Wars.
Oh, okay.
But there was also, I think, a whole, like you said, an animated, like, Cartoon Network series. That's, I don't know if it's canon.
That's what I was thinking. Okay.
So that's available from the 1st to the 15th, and that's an Xbox 360 game.
Yeah. And worth for the achievements if you're an achievement hunter like this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And now the last one we're going to cut out with Sega's vintage collection of Monster World, which another game a lot of people were into when I was a kid. I never really touched this. Did you get into this at all?
No, not really. I've never really heard of it actually until I looked at it for our research here, and it looks just like some sort of side-scroller monster fighting Mario-looking thing.
It looks like fun, actually. If you're feeling in like that retro mood. Like sometimes I want to play a retro game. I have like Sonic downloaded at all times. That's my little like old school.
They gave away that other Sega Vintage collection. It was like Streets of Rage or something like that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. They got like Mega Man ones too. There's a bunch of cool ones. Hey, download it, check it out, see if it's your cup of tea. If not, hey, just delete it and you have it in your archive.
Yeah. So that's our Games with Gold for the month of September. You got Prison Architect from the 1st to the 30th, Live Lock from the 16th to October 15th, Lego Star Wars from September 1st to September 15th, and Sega Vintage Collection Monster World from September 16th to the 30th.
Nice. Definitely. Check them out, get them while you can.
Alright, that was our Xbox gaming section, and now we're going to get on to some music suggestions for you. But before we do that, let's hear something from the Yes and I Am podcast.
Hi, do you like celebrities, comedy, and pop culture? Well, then I have the podcast for you. I'm Aaron Max, host of the Yes and I Am podcast, the podcast where we learn about people. Each week, we take comedians and improvisers and give them a celebrity to play, and I interview them. And guess what? Sometimes the comedians don't know who this celebrity is. And that's when the real fun comes in, and we learn a little something we didn't already know about these people. So go and check us out. We're on iTunes and all other podcast sources. We are Yes and I Am, and we will see you guys next time.
And we are back, and it's time to serenade you slackers. We got some good artists we're going to talk about.
Yeah. Don't sing them to sleep now.
Oh, no, baby. I'm going to liven up this moment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to start you out with a band that's a little bit bumpy. It's a little good. It's an 80s synthwave styling. A little metal. A little bit of this and that. A little cover. You'll see what I'm talking about when we break into this. I am talking about Scandroid. Now, Scandroid is it's an interesting project. It's a side project of a producer called Clayton, who has all kinds of projects upon projects. He's done a band with Chris Angel called Angel Dust, which I thought was pretty interesting. Very short-lived. You won't find much about it through like Chris Angel. He's like kind of like just cut it away from his past.
Huh.
But Clayton did actually do some work on the Chris Angel show, like his intro and all the music on there, so he kind of helped him out with that too. But Clayton's other project that you might know, maybe, is called Cell Dweller. And they're like a little electronic metal type deal. Really fun. I'm not going to cover them. I'm covering Scandroid because I'm a big 80s synthwave styling guy. And I'm going to go right into the first song that I wanted to do for you guys because everybody likes this song. It's a cover. And I got to say, this pulled me into Scandroid right away. I was really into this. This is a little tune you might know called Thriller.
Yeah, it's really funky. I like it.
So yeah, it's definitely Thriller, but it's definitely something different.
Yeah, it's a new spin on it for sure.
Yeah, which that's a really tough. There's some songs in history that are just ones like a lot of artists will be like, "Fuck that, I'm not touching that one."
Yep.
Like it's a hard one to conquer. I feel like, and I like how he did it. He did the ode to the original, but he changed up some simple things that really added to it too.
Oh yeah.
I can't say it's better than Thriller, but I could say it's like a side piece to it. Like that I enjoy like an alternative view on it. And that's what I like about Scandroid. He has a couple of different songs that are covers like that, but he has a lot of originals. The next song I'm going to play is like their newest release. Came out actually September 3rd, so just like this week. And it's totally different. It's more towards the basis of his other band, Cell Dweller, which is a little more metal. But this is like true 80s metal meets like Dragon Force. That's my idea of it. It's really different, and I really, really enjoy it. So this is Phoenix. This is their newest release. So that was Phoenix by Scandroid, the newest release, and it's I like what Dave said. He said power metal in the live chat on Instagram. Check that out. Little plug. And yeah, it's like an 80s synth under the metal, and it's a little bit Phil Collins, a little bit Dragon Force, a little bit this, a little bit of that. I really enjoy it. It's pumping all over.
I really enjoyed that one too. I liked it a lot. The energy on that one's really cool, and that's one of their originals, right? That's not one of
that's an original. Yeah, it's
that's
not a
cool.
cover. Yeah, and there's a lot of originals and a few covers. Scandroid has quite a selection, and I mean, Clayton the artist is just talented in so many instruments, and there's just such a wide difference in all of his different pieces there. So look up Cell Dweller, look up Clayton, and check him out. Scandroid is the one I just covered. Fucking awesome. No tours coming up anytime soon, but keep an eye out. Check out the Facebook or the Instagram for Scandroid, and I'm sure dates pop up there if anywhere.
Now, the band that I'm going to be suggesting, it's quite an enigma. I've been trying to hammer down the details on these guys. It's Michael Jordan Touchdown Pass is the name of the band, and
okay.
I found the Patreon of Michael Jordan, who writes and records the songs for Michael Jordan Touchdown Pass. But I guess he also has worked with his older brother, who goes by Pat the Bunny, and they were both in a band called Ramshackle Glory, which is another band that I listen to on Spotify.
Okay.
So this is all kind of over the place. But the band that I'm covering is Michael Jordan Touchdown Pass, and they're interesting. I don't know what to call them. They're softer at times, but still rock and a little bit upbeat with some of their songs, like the first one that I'll be playing.
Yeah.
They've had a number of albums since 2013. They've been putting stuff out. Loons was their first EP. Lion was one that came out this year in 2018, along with Breakfast earlier in the year. So they've been putting stuff out for over 5 years, along with working with other bands like Ramshackle Glory and a number of other side projects. I guess today's theme is side projects, huh?
Yeah, right. Yeah, a bunch of side projects going on here, but hey, that's the best artists that want to just spread out their talent and make these different projects of different spectrums.
It's cool because then they're not tied down to one sound. You get a good whole perspective on the artist. But the first song I'm gonna play by Michael Jordan Touchdown Pass is "Oh My God," which is their top played one on Spotify, the one that kind of caught my ear. So that was "Oh My God" by Michael Jordan Touchdown Pass. I keep wanting to say Michael Jackson Touchdown Pass because you did the Thriller song before.
Yeah.
I got him stuck in my head.
We all know who the superior Michael is. Come on, let's not kid. And he didn't play for the Bulls. That's for damn sure.
I was trying to think of another Michael, like Michael Douglas.
Michael Caine here.
Michael Caine?
I don't know. That's the only other one that's competition. I'm Michael Caine here, and I'm here to deliver some wiseness.
Well, back to the band. They've been putting out new stuff. Like I said, they had a new album released recently called Lion, and they've been putting out stuff on their YouTube channel. And they also, like I said before, they also have a Patreon. So if you want to contribute to their Patreon, they actually are giving out unreleased music or like stuff that they're planning on releasing in the future. So you get, a little taste of that before it comes out if you go and give them some support. But the most recent song that they've released is called Neat Little Box of Chaos. And this is from their most recent album, Lion. And I just figured, I'd pick their most recent thing. This was literally uploaded like 2 days ago, I believe. So this is like
a lot of new music lately.
yeah, this is like brand new.
Nice.
And also a little interesting fact about the lead singer, and songwriter, he is studying to become a Buddhist monk, which is kind of cool.
That's awesome.
And they're also from Brattleboro, Vermont.
Awesome. Okay.
So
Some country,
so little fun
monks.
facts out there. But this song, like I said, it's by Michael Jordan, Touchdown Pass, and it's called Neat Little Box of Chaos. So that was Neat Little Box of Chaos by Michael Jordan, Touchdown Pass. That name's still tripping me up from time to time here.
Yeah, it's an easy one. That's not an easy band name. Like, you would think it would be like, it'll be easy for everybody to remember, but no.
It's definitely out there. That and the whole Michael Jordan, I know it's his name, but it still just goes back to the sports star for me.
Yeah, come on now. We all know there's only one Michael Jordan.
But I really enjoy the music. It's different. It has like sort of a country, laid-back, folksy kind of vibe to it, and it's
definitely
not something I normally listen to. It reminds me of like chilling on a summer day kind of thing. Yeah,
I definitely enjoy it. It's definitely some mellow music. And sometimes you need that, the change up.
Yeah, go check them out on Spotify, YouTube. Contribute to the Patreon if you want some unreleased tracks.
Yeah,
seems like a cool band to support for sure.
Oh, yeah, and you can find Scandroid and Michael Jordan Touchdown of it on our Spotify playlist. All you got to do is search American Slacker Podcast on Spotify, and they'll be there. I guess it's time where we wrap this baby up, bundle it up all nice for you. But before we do that, I got to let you know about this little place called Facebook. I don't know if you've been there. It's crazy. If you end up there, search American Slacker Podcast, you'll find us. You'll also find the American Slackers group, where there's a bunch of other slackers just like yourself. You guys can chat, chorus, have a grand old time. Also, stop by the Instagram where we have the promos for each and every show, and our main website is AmericanSlackerPodcast.com or ASPodcast.com.
If you want to get at us on Twitter or Reddit, you can find us at AMERSLKR Podcast. All of our episodes go up on YouTube, and we beg of you, please go rate us 5 stars or nothing on iTunes. And please also tell a friend, because that's how you create more slackers.
Ooh, yeah. Tell a friend, create a slacker.
We also want to thank anyone watching on Instagram Live, especially Gunny K9. We see you there.
Yeah.
And
see you there.
the IOHO podcast just joined. Let's give them a little shout out.
Oh, you got a freebie. All right. Well, if you want to get in contact with us, you can also send us an email, AmericanSlackerPodcast@gmail.com. And also, again, check out the Spotify playlist, American Slacker Podcast, and you'll also find each and every show on there as well to make it nice and easy for you to listen to us.
You can support the show by becoming a Patreon slacker over at our Patreon page, and you get access to different rewards at whatever tier you support the show. It really goes a long way for us. Some of the people that actually do this, and we really appreciate, are Dave Gunn, Seth Anders, Kyle Nolan Bradford from the Crime Roulette podcast, and Aaron W. from the Yes and I Am podcast.
Oh, yeah. Thank you guys. Your support, it really it means the world to us. And we thank you so much. Check out that Patreon if you feel like supporting the show as well.
And don't forget, we also have merch available at americanslackerpodcast.bigcartel.com or through the links on our website.
And if you wanted to get in contact with us on a personal level, you can catch me on Instagram at MWGmedia and my gamer tag, Matty G from HP.
You can find me on all the social media at Landers the Plane.
Alrighty, people. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. We love each and every one of you. And until next time, that's it.
There you go. We're not doing anything now. It's ruined.
This guy's a fucking maniac.
The shirt was Roscoe's. Chicken and waffles.
Chicken and waffles.